the vacant WBC Continental America's Heavyweight Championship. Now making it to the stage, professional record, 13 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 11 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Rome, Italy. Please welcome Guido.
What's up, guys? Watching the weigh-ins here. It says these are live. Maybe I'm behind. I just got back from boxing. Oh yeah, I'm way behind. The weigh-ins already happened, but I'm just watching Guido weigh in. Alexi Barea. I'm going to we're gonna share the screen here in a second. I think Matchroom has them all up here. Wherever you guys are tapping in, let me know what's up. Bum Equipment, Skeezy in the house, Perth, holla. It's your boy. Guys, when you're tapping in, like this video. We're 24 hours away from some good action. Like I said, I'm getting caught up with these weigh-ins. After I watch Alexi Barea is always going to look good on the scales. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those guys. But I got to tell you, man, Vianello looks good. Vianello looks fit. He looks more fit here than he looked against Kiki Torres. I'm going to watch this, and then, you know what? I'll just press pause here, and I'll bring it up on the Grizzle. On the Grizzle. All right, what do you guys make? There's Ennis. Let's watch Allen first.
Story of Dave Allen, the White Rhino, versus Arslan Bekmambetov tomorrow night from Sheffield Arena. Live on DAZN.
You guys see any sort of advantages?
Huge nights await the victor in this one.
You know,
the 9,000 crammed into the Sheffield Arena tomorrow night.
This fight's literally a 50-50 now on the line. Both guys look good. Allen looks good. I got to be honest with you. Arslan Beck has been locked in all week. And I guess my point is, it's one of those fights, guys, no matter who you're going with, wherever your money's at, I wouldn't be comfortable on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm comfortable putting my money on Dave Allen. My money is on Dave Allen, but even if my money was on Arslan Beck, I'm not comfortable. It's one of those fights. You know, do what you will with the bet. I shared my 3-leg underdog parlay. It's up in the Discord. Peep that out. Speaking of Discord, follow Mike TV. He's a Johnny Says Boxing Insider. You can see the tick right next to his name. That link is pinned in the comments. If you're not in the Discord, couple bucks a month, take advantage of that. Follow Mike TV Says, what's up, Johnny? Just saw the weigh-ins. Lima isn't a big 154. Boots didn't look big either. Let's pull that up then. We're gonna pull that up. And so here we go. This is Lima. This is Lima and Boots. You guys seen anything? Yeah, Boots doesn't look that. He's catching. It's crazy, right?
Jaron Boots Ennis, Weezma Monster.
Jaron doesn't look that big, boys. And the wild thing is, man, Jaron is listed at 5'10", 5'11". So is Lima. I always put things in perspective because I'm 5'11", you know, plus a couple centimeters. I just round down. And I walk, like, my frame, granted I'm 43 years old, but I've always walked around between 180 and 190 pounds. And even when I was a kid, like 15, the idea that like they're fighting at 154 is insane to me. Just, I don't, you know, the amount of weight you have to cut, you know, even looking at Boots, Boots looks like he could probably make 68, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how much he's cutting. What are we making of this, boys? What are we making of this Ennis Lima weigh-in? Because I want to show you a bet. You know, it's something we spoke about. It's something we spoke about yesterday on the live stream. If you guys peeped it with me and TJ from Chilltown, and then Gary popped in late, was the fact that I've been saying this. So I mean, it's not a sexy bet. A lot of people a lot of people, I shared in the Discord. I do have action on the over at 7.5. So I did a 2-leg parlay. I put it in the Discord. One of those legs is this fight, Ennis versus Lima. I took the over at 7.5, which is, I think, I got it at $1.90. But I mean, if push comes to shove and I got some extra bucks in the account, Ennis by decision, and I've already given you my logical reasoning. I know it's not a sexy pick, but when you put into the, you take in consideration the things we know about boxing, the facts, Ennis's first fight at 54, you got Lima coming in with that world champion energy. He has the IBO belt. He lost once to McKenna. He's never been dropped. He's never been stopped, obviously. His only loss was on 4 days' notice. And you also put in consideration stylistically, Boots hasn't really fought a lot of southpaws. You know what I'm saying? Lima's a southpaw. He's a puncher. He's a bit awkward too. He's not this conventional front foot slugger like Stanionis. He has a little bit of weird awkwardness to him. So if you're feeling froggy, I think that's a good prop bet. You know what I'm saying? And Jaron's going to get cooked if he doesn't stop Lima. But I don't mind that bet. I actually don't mind Ennis by decision. You guys are tapping in. I'm going to see what's up. Give me a second to catch up with everybody. Arslan Beck looks freaky. They did say 10 rounds. White Rhino. Johnny, where do you bet between Boston and Fawad? Mervin Albano. Mervin, check out my playlist stats, fight predictions, Mervin. I've given you my breakdown. I do an edited series called Stats Don't Lie, which I'll do I give you my analysis, film study, logical reasoning, and breakdown of why I picked who. Yeah, my face got marked up today, dude. Once again, I was sparring earlier with this fucking 58-year-old, like he sells like retirement homes. And I go in there not trying to, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm going in there just trying to get body work done, right? Like I'm jabbing my way in and fighting the entire time in the pocket, and he's throwing fucking bombs. He was just scratching me. These are just scratches from his bitch-ass cheap gloves. Anyway, I digress. Betting on Allen, Arslan, I do it for the pump, baby. I do. Got to feel that pump. Shout out to my client, Luke. You have a good memory. DJ Green, what's good? Andrew Charles, we appreciate you. The Mayweather's tapping in. A little nervous about Tamir Smalls, the height difference. Guys, and, earlier in the week, shout out to the Mayweather. Earlier in the week, when everybody was talking about, potential upsets, blah, 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 all I said was, I'm not saying Tamir Smalls is going to lose, but I think he should be on upset alert. If anything, I don't like these odds. If anything, I don't like these odds. Tamir Smalls at $1.14. I think it's a bit disrespectful for Roman Vasquez. It's another one of these bets. Roman Vasquez is a big, tall fighter for the division. I think he stands at 6'2". We brought it up yesterday. We brought his stats up. He's a big dude for the division. Tamir Smalls, I know Gary from 3D is high on him. A lot of the boys are high on him. Tamir Smalls should win, and we know height and reach doesn't necessarily equate to an upset, but Roman Vasquez is live here. I think he is a live dog here. Am I taking him to win? I mean, if you're going to take Vasquez here to win, do a standalone bet. The last thing you want to do is take a dog, the dogs bark, and then you put it on a parlay, and then like $1.10 doesn't hit. So that's my take on that. Rayo de la Santa Liga, greetings from España. I made a combine bet to see Madmonov wins 1-3. Dude, Rayo, good luck with that. It's a good one. Mar the Prince in the house. That live stream last night talked me out of betting on the Allen fight. Yeah, Bum, if anything, I'm not trying to talk anybody into gambling. Remember that, guys. This is a boxing channel first. This has been and will always be for the love of the game. I got sort of, just recently in the last few months, I pivoted a little bit more to, I've always bet on boxing. I just never told you guys about it. And so I want everybody to know, I'm not coming here to ever tell you to gamble. I'm not coming here to ever tell you to bet on fights. Do it for entertainment purposes. If you're not having fun betting because you're losing, don't do it, mate. I'm not going to you're never going to hear me say, you're gonna be wealthy and become a millionaire off of betting. The outcomes are too risky. There's too many sort of like uncontrollable variables. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Bum says that live stream last night talked me out of betting on the Allen fight. If anything, good. I'm happy that you're not betting. Here we go. Martha Prince says, Johnny, Padley seemed to handle the 130 weight cut well. Definitely taking a stab at Padley by stoppage. Let's have a look at it. Let's go to these odds real quick, and then we'll check the weigh-ins. This is updating the technology has been good, boys. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying it too. But this is only my first week learning how to do this software, and being able to chat with the chat, and also now bring it up to have visuals. This is dope. I've had more fun live streaming this week, guys, than I ever have. I've only been live streaming for 6 months, but it's been fun. So let's pull up the Padley odds first, and we'll have a look. Because that is the thing. Mar brings up a talking point from yesterday's live stream with TJ, was the fact that it's not like Josh is fighting in his natural weight class. He is coming down. He fought Shakur at 35. He's taken fights at 40. This fight is at 130. And guys, I got to be honest with you, super transparency. That's what you get from me. I'm taking a risk on this fight, guys. You don't have to follow my lead. Sometimes I could be a bit of a gunslinger. This is on this fight, standalone, Padley versus Bellotti, I'm doing this one. So I like Padley by knockout. I like Padley by stoppage, man. Hopefully the screen clears. My third device over here sometimes gets a bit suspect. But Padley by stoppage, $4.40. It just doesn't sit with me, guys. All week, Bellotti getting stopped against Gardner, Bellotti being, the older fighter, Bellotti getting turned around in 12 weeks. It wasn't an easy fight against Gardner. It was 11th, 12th round stoppage. It doesn't sit with me well. I think this has all the makings. Now, there's going to be a volume issue. So if you're going to follow this bet and take the 440, it's not like you're going to be watching a Rafa Espinosa style in Padley, or a William Zepeda style in Padley, in which you're going to see all this volume, like, in El Camarón, and all this volume sometimes leads to stoppages. Now, Padley doesn't throw a lot of volume. Bellotti will probably outpunch him, but Padley, the sharper puncher, the more accurate puncher, his career trajectory. I think this is a live bet. I'm not, by no means is this a lock, but I really like this bet. Let's have a look at the weigh-ins. And isn't Padley signed with Matchroom? It's weird how Matchroom on their Instagram, they only have the Lima weigh-in, they have the Dave Allen weigh-in, Boots weigh-in, and they have the Bilal Fawaz weigh-in. So let me just maybe Padley put it up on his. I'm pulling up the Josh Padley weigh-in to support Martha Prince's. All right, here we go. Do we got a video? No, we just have pictures. Come on, boys, no video. All right, I guess we'll do a little bit of a slideshow real quick. So here's the slideshow. I'm on Josh's Instagram. So that's what he looks like. That's him and Bellotti. Bellotti's in good nick. He's in good shape. Bellotti's a consummate professional. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't sit. It hasn't sit right with me, this matchup. This matchup has all the makings for Josh to kind of look great and probably step into a huge fight, right? That's the move. Probably maybe Gardner next. Yeah, he looks good. He looks good. Yeah, so moving forward, that's my pick. That's the action I'm going on. Guys, we did a parlay yesterday. We did a prospect parlay. I also put that in the Discord. There's a bunch of prospects on here, both in the UK and in Philly. And I think it's a 10-leg prospect parlay. It's about $250. $100 gets your money back plus 150. So yeah, moving forward, everyone tapping in, man. I appreciate it. Give a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, do it. Super chats are always well welcomed. If you haven't joined our Discord or Johnny Says Boxing VIP membership, the link is pinned here. It's a couple bucks a month. You get more accessibility here on the live stream. You get shout outs, but you get to join that Discord. The Discord on the weekends are always popping. Will Bowen says no knockdowns for Boots Lima, plus 300. Not a bad shout. Eon Quirk says betting Allen, Padley, and Barry a parlay. Maybe Ennis over. I like the over, Eon, and we're agreeing on some of it. I just disagree with you with the Guido Vianella. Let's have a look at that real quick. I don't see Lima going the distance. Yeah, it's 450 for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Pull Up Boy will do. I will post it on the YouTube channel as well for all the boys. Breaking Bad from his bitch ass gloves, 100%, man. Whoa, I'm just catching up to the chat. As you guys are tapping in, like this. Let me know where you're popping. Let me know if you have any questions. The full face-off videos on Matchroom's channel. I went to their Instagram. I'm gonna pin Will's comment here. Will, you think it goes 10? Which fight are we talking about? Will's a Johnny says Boxing Insider. I'm gonna catch up. The chat's kind of going off right now. What was Will's first match? No, not Boots Lima. You think it goes 10? So you think that it's a 12 rounder? It's a 12. Yeah, I'm gonna move forward. I want to talk about Guido Vianella versus Alexi. Shout out to Bob. I want to talk about Guido versus Alexi real quick because I saw a couple of the boys going, 50-50. I'm going to bring up the weigh-ins real quick. I got the weigh-ins in front of me, and I haven't seen Guido in this good a shape in a while, guys. Tell me what you think about this. And obviously, Alexi Barea he's obviously in good shape too. But, I was already leaning on Guido, but the how he looks now versus what he looked like against Kiki Torres, I'm actually impressed. So you guys are saying it's on Matchroom's. I'm on Matchroom's Instagram, and they're not really putting too much up. You know what? I'll just share this so you guys can see. Hayden, Dragon, Boots Lima. We already looked at Boots Lima. Boots, yeah, I got to be honest with you guys. Boots didn't fill out how I thought he would fill out. Like, even his back, he doesn't look. I thought his back, his upper posterior chain would be, you guys have, you know how Canelo's upper posterior chain, like from the mid-thoracic upwards in the back, it's like real dense. I mean, Canelo does fight at 68. I was expecting to see Ennis fill out a little bit more, and make what you will about that. He's just, I guess he's not as he didn't get as big as I thought he would get. Okay, here we go. This is Alexis Pereira and Guido. Alexis always looks good on the scales, though. Hopefully they show Guido. If not, I'll go to his Instagram. No, they're not going to show it. I'm just avoiding using YouTube's content because obviously I'm streaming on YouTube, and I see Bum says go to Matchroom's YouTube channel. I don't want to get copywritten strikes. Like, I've never gotten a copywritten strike. I mean, I've only started doing the live stream with the content in a week. I assume I could get striked that way, right? Guido. I can't just go to Matchroom's YouTube and play their entire stuff. I assume I don't want to get a strike. And I've had my channel taken down before a couple years ago, a different channel. So I kind of have like PTSD from it. I kind of have trauma. Dude, getting a channel taken down. I told you guys this story earlier in the week. I built my first boxing channel up from everything's from scratch, by the way, organic as hell. Put a lot of work into it. The first one, I was almost at like 10,000 subs. And then all of a sudden I got all these copyright strikes. And I was doing old storytelling videos about old boxers. and they just removed my channel. And I was like literally depressed. I don't want that to happen again. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. How come sometimes what do you guys make of this? I got to be honest, man. Guido looks in great shape. Obviously, Alexi looks in great shape. Guido looks locked in, boys. Victor, holla. Finally made it. In my opinion, I feel like Boots' weight is a problem. I got money on this. I need y'all lean. Who's winning? Guido Barrea. Ryan, I got, I'll show you my pick. So full transparency. Let's get to the odds real quick. All right, here's the odds. I have Guido. I got a little cheeky parlay. I did a 3-leg underdog parlay. I'll just bring it up. So if you like Guido, guys, both guys, the odds, it's another one of these fights. We have a handful of fights this weekend where whatever side you go, the odds are great. Whether it's Guido versus Alexi, whether it's Dave Allen versus Arslan Lebec, you got another good fight with Bilal Fawad versus Starboy. Junaid Boston. Okay, here we go. Here's the odds. See, they haven't shifted. So TJ and myself yesterday, kind of ad nauseum. We broke this fight down for a while. It's up on my channel. This is Barrera versus Villanella. And I just couldn't, the odds really haven't shifted at all this week. I just couldn't understand why Villanella was how he's the underdog here. We brought up the resumes. You could go to their box recs or Tapology, whatever one you want. I can pull it up if you want me to. Barrera hasn't fought anybody, man. You know, his resume is suspect. And Guido is a guy who has a knockout win over Arslan Lebec. I know he's coming off a loss against Kiki Torres, but I mean, that's a good loss. You know, if there is a good loss, Kiki Torres is a high level operator. A lot of people in America think that Kiki for the American heavyweights is kind of the next in line. It's going to be interesting to see how Kiki matures and how Josh Edwards matures. I'm high on Josh Edwards. Josh Edwards is another young American heavyweight prospect. Edwards only has maybe 5 fights. He made his pro debut maybe a year and a half ago. Every time he fights, we cover him on the channel. Shout out to Goat. I don't know if Goat's on this live stream, but Goat and I always talk about Josh Edwards. And I think Guido being the dog here is insane. I really think the bookies got it wrong here. We'll see. When if you guys did your tape on Barrera, or if you're in the Discord, all week we've shared the fight film on Alexi Barrera, and it looks good, and then it all falls apart. You know what I'm saying? He looks good until he doesn't. Like the first 30 seconds of each round, Alexi Barrera is technical. Everything looks accurate. He looks sharp. And then all of a sudden he doesn't. He fades. His technique falls. He starts to crumble. He's never really fought anybody. I don't like what I see in the film tape. And you guys are, so you're saying Guido isn't that good, but do you think that Alexi Barrera is that good? So what do you, okay, so N's going to say, bro, Villanella isn't that good. So are you taking Dave Allen to beat Arslan Lebec? I know we don't do, we don't really like boxing triangle theories here, but if Villanella isn't that good, I know it was due to a cut and due to damage, but it was from punches. He stopped Arslan Lebec. You know what I'm saying? He stopped Arslan Lebec, and Arslan Lebec is the guy that everybody thinks is going to stop Allen. I'm going Guido Villanella here. I think he's classier. I think he has more tools in the bag. I think he has a better cardio, a better jab, and I think the bookies got it wrong here. Alexi Barrera, you go to his resume, you go to his film tape, and look, we're at the point now where we're all just kind of riffing off of each other. I'm sure if you got your bets locked in, I'm not trying to make you switch. And if you're on the fence, I'm just trying to be as honest as possible with you on where I'm putting my money. So I like Guido in this fight. Let's give King Fitness a shout out. King of Fitness. I love Josh Edwards. He's legit. Him and Itiama one day will be the next best heavyweight fight. 100%, man. I agree with you. You know, a fight, if we're talking about, I think that Moses is kind of like, and it's no shock, you know, this isn't a shocking statement. In terms of maturation, career development, Moses is already being, you know, not propped up, but expedited, right? A fight that I really want to see, because Moses looks good, right? You know, against who he's fought. I want to see Moses Ituama versus Justice Hooney. And that's the fight I really want to see. And if Moses is really legit, because what do we see in Moses? We basically see everything we saw in Justice against, you know, in his last fight, up until he got knocked out in the 11th round. You know what I'm saying? And Justice Hooney, great boxer. And it's unfortunate that that's the way he chose to operate in his last fight. He's winning almost every single round, and then he goes out and gets stopped. He goes out and tries to punch with one of the biggest punchers in the UK, and he gets stopped. So the fight I really want to see, for me, you know, if we're going to sit here and say Moses is legit, is how he would handle Justice. You know, for Hooney, like I said, that game plan against Wardley, it was exceptional. The execution was exceptional. But for him to have such a mental lapse late in the fight, when you travel across the world as the B-side in this guy's hometown, who's being sort of heralded as like the next, you know, a big puncher, and you're just dog walking him and you're outboxing him and you're looking good doing it. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm going to fight with my ego instead of my brain, and you get knocked out. Look, shit happens. I'm not going to just sit here and say, I think Justice Hooney could be a world champion one day. He's only 26 years old. You don't see many heavyweights bouncing on their toes like that for 10, 11, 12 rounds. So his athleticism, his angle, I'm hot. Like, I'm still up on Justice. We'll see if he is. You know, the question is, will Justice Hooney be up on himself? You know, it's tough to go down the way he went down. And I brought it up when it happened. That's a loss that will haunt him forever, 100%. No ifs, ands, buts about it. From an athletic perspective, from a competitor's perspective, from a fighter's perspective, that loss, considering how it went down, not because he got knocked out, not because he got stopped, but, you know, all things, how the fight played out, how it went down, the decision-making going into it, that's going to haunt him. And hopefully he comes back more energized. He does have a fight. Justice is fighting in December against Kiki Toa Lutelli. It's a rematch, actually. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Bro, are you posting a list of your picks on your post? But yeah, pull up, boy. I'm going to post after this live stream. I already gave you guys my prospect parlay, but I didn't post it. It's in the live stream. I'll give it to you. And bro, Fabio caught his ass and they counted him out. Oh, mate, I'm glad you brought that up. That count, somebody should go to prison for that count. If you guys, you know what we're talking about. That was like a 7 count. It was insane, man. Hooney's winning how do you not like, I don't even want to talk about it. Obviously, I lost money. Obviously, I lost money on that play. I wish he would have got an Emmanuel Navarrete count. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel Navarrete versus Liam Wilson. Liam Wilson drops him in the 2nd or 3rd round, and Navarrete gets a 27-second count. Insane. And then we know how that played out. You get Hooney, who ironically is another Aussie. Maybe it's the Aussies. Hooney, who's another, gets a 7-second count. What are we talking about, dude? Let's have a look. They're not going to play the count. Are they going to play the count? Oh, no, they're not going to play the count. They're just going to play that. No, they're not going to play the count. Fabio has a big fight coming up. Man, there's some good boxing. There's some good boxing coming up. I'm going to move on. I don't want to waste too much time on the past. We got a lot of fights right in front of us. We got a lot to talk about. Guys, we're 30 minutes in. We're floating between 50 and 70 of you guys. I really appreciate the support. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subbed yet, do it. If you haven't joined our Discord, do it. I'm going to give some shout outs to some Johnny Says insiders. You see the ones with the blue stars and the ticks. Terrell Fearon, it was a UK card. That's why Hooney got a fast count. Facts. Jabo, love the setup. Appreciate you, Lanjabo. So I'm going to just leave this here real quick. And, you know, love the new setup. I appreciate you noticing. I'm only highlighting this comment not to give myself credit, but to give you guys credit. For the last month and a half, you guys have been asking me to like bring the screen up. You know, I want to see the odds when you're talking about it. But guys, for the last 6 weeks, I was trying. I didn't know how to do it. I was researching. I was watching YouTube videos, and then I didn't realize I had to buy. You know, my laptop, my Mac was a couple years old. I just needed to buy new equipment. So I did that, and now we're here. I appreciate you noticing. Fabio versus Parker. Let's see, with Terrell Fearon. Johnny, did you hear that Parker has opted himself to fight Ituama in December if his fight with Fabio goes well? Okay. Joe Parker. I'm high on Joe Parker. You know, I'm a fan. How could you not be? Yeah, what am I? I'm breaking the internet by saying I'm a fan of Joe Parker. How could you not be? Great dude. I don't like this fight. I don't like the fight with Fabio Wardley, guys. It's a dangerous fight. I think he deserves a world title shot now. I think I love the work Andy Lee has done with him. And you know, it's a testament to Parker to even put his hand up to fight Wardley and then want to fight Moses. You know, that just tells you he's like, all right, you guys, you know, rather than chasing world titles, I want world titles. I should be fighting for world titles. But in the meantime, because I know I'm going to get these world titles, let me fight these contenders on UK soil and show them what time it is. You got to love Parker. But, you know, while doing that, it's so risky. Think about Martin Bacoli. You know what I'm saying? Think about Bacoli, where Bacoli's trajectory was heading after the Jared Anderson fight. And then Bacoli, to be sort of a company guy, takes on Parker, short notice? And then he gets stopped, and then all of a sudden Bacoli, like, these are risky business decisions, guys. You know, you have to come at this from an entrepreneurial perspective. If you're the fighter, you have families, you have, you know, people that rely on you. You know, boxing, the corruption goes way past the judges, goes way past the promoters. The corruption also a lot of times happens within your circle, within, you know, people having their hands out. And then, you know, the more successful you are, these people who, you know, moonlight as your family or friends are living their lifestyle based off of your winnings. So then it gets real kind of seedy. And so the idea that he's even taking these fights, non-world title fights against really dangerous guys, hats off to him, man. It's a dangerous proposition, man. It's a dangerous proposition. I want to give a shout out to the Super Chat King of Fitness. Appreciate you, man. Any way you can support the channel, it means so much to me, and I really appreciate that. We know about Fundora, hand injury. Man, that just bums me out, Mark. You know, I got to mention it. This just bums me out. I was looking so forward to the Seb Fundora Thurman fight. Now, they didn't say it's canceled. They said it's postponed, and they said Seb has a contusion on one of his hands. So if you go to your encyclopedia, your medical journal, all a contusion medically is a bruise. So, you know, for them to say contusion, it's kind of like, I felt like that was an odd choice of words to describe an injury, and at least it didn't get canceled. So for them to even say contusion, I assume it's worse. It's worse than that. You know what I mean? For them to say contusion, I assume it's worse than that. A region of injured tissue or skin in which blood capillaries have been ruptured, a bruise. So you punch me in my face, you punch me here, it bruises, that's a contusion. For it to be on his hands, you know, it must be, you know, in a very tricky spot. So it bums me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wanted to see that fight, and hopefully we get to see that fight. And it's kind of, once again, the curse of Thurman, the curse of Keith. You know what I'm saying? He's been in a lot of these sort of moments where, you know, people pull out, people get injured. He got injured, he gets injured, that sort. And it's boxing. We get used to it. As fans, guys, we have, you know, we kind of have trauma over the years. Bum Equipment, my guy. Appreciate you, brother. Bum Equipment just joined. Johnny says Boxing Insider. So Bum Equipment, what will happen is after I end this live stream, when it's over, go to my main interface on YouTube and you'll see a specific section for just VIPs. Not everyone has access. In that section, I will post the Discord link. Once you find it, you enter the Discord to brace yourself. The Discord's fun, man. The Discord's fun. So welcome, brother. Appreciate you. Mar, better. What, dude? You guys are disappointing me. Is this true? Guys, see, I was boxing all morning. You know, I didn't know. It's 10:20 a.m., but I was boxing I woke up at 6 a.m. I went to the gym. I was at the gym from 7 to 9, and I get home and I edit, and this is breaking news to me. Better Beav is out against Nicholson too. God damn it. Any like, what is it? Are they being sort of hush hush on what the injury is? Josh Padley versus Reese Bellotti, no distance. And Julius, this is the bet I'm taking. And I think we already talked about this. And I told you guys don't tail this, but it kind of is aligned with what you're saying. I just want to bring up the separate odds on what I'm taking on Padley versus Bellotti versus the difference in what Julius is offering. And guys, Julius is a beast. So I'm highlighting his comment. We got to get your the Discord. Got to get that blue tick back, man. Here we go. So we'll highlight what Julius is saying, then I'll show you. And I already spoke about this, my pick. So Reese Bellotti, will the fight go the distance? No. Okay. So 270. Will the fight go the distance? No. Now, this keeps you safe because what if Reese Bellotti stops Padley? The Bomber, nicknamed the Bomber. Could it happen? Now, in my breakdown, in my film study, and all of my logical reasoning, I kind of half agree with this bet at $2.70. But I'm only 50% agreeing with him because that's not the bet I like. The bet I like is Josh Padley by knockout at $4.10. So I'm kind of rolling the dice and a gamble here, adding a little bit of my ego to the game, leaning on the fact that I don't see Bellotti stopping Padley. So if I don't see Bellotti stopping Padley and I agree with Julius, then I got to up the odds from $2.30 to $4.10. But I should also mention, let's say hypothetically Julius is betting like some of the boys in our Discord bet, right? So, and I don't want to assume. I'm not. Some of the boys in the Discord are going to be betting like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 on these fights, and they do, and we see receipts, we get all of it. Let's say Julius puts 10 G's on this fight, then this one would be the safer bet if you still are convinced, because then you are leaving openings. Julius came back. You are leaving openings. So and we see eye to eye now on this pick, and it's something we've been going. You know, Julius is a legit loyal member. He's been on the channel all my live streams. We go back and forth, and I think we started talking about this outcome earlier in the week because I started earlier in the week leaning on Bellotti a bit. You know what I'm saying? Because from like, if we're investigative journalists, the only way we could truly be sort of non-opinionated is start on one side and then work our way to the middle and then somehow find the truth, right? So I started with Reese, and then the more I sat with Reese, I was like, I don't see Reese winning. None ever. Reese is going to ruin a lot of y'all parlays. And if he does, mate, hats off to him. And I started on Reese's side, like I said, but never. Sell me on why. You know, he got worked over by Ryan Gardner. He got stopped against Ryan Gardner. And that was 11 weeks ago, and he turns around to fight Padley. Padley's coming off a stoppage win. He takes Shakur on short notice, gets stopped in the 9th. But then you look at, I think, 3 out of Padley's last 4 fights, he's won by stoppage. He's the more accurate puncher. He's not going to have volume on his side. He won't, so don't get it twisted. He's not going to have volume on his side, but he's accurate, and he has timing on his side. And we'll see. And you mix that with Bellotti's style of wanting to pressure forward, getting off on that front foot. I think if Ryan gets stopped Bellotti, I'm going to roll the dice on Padley stopping Bellotti. And I should also mention, never, Julius said the fight not to go the distance. So even if Reese wins, he still wins. So you're talking to just me, because Julia, and that's the safer bet. I want to give a shout out to Eon Quirk, super chat. I appreciate the super chats. We got new members joining. The group is growing. Our channel is growing because of you guys. So I say thank you. And because of the super chat, this is the benefits of the super chat. I got to take his question. Any opinion on BKFC Ice Wars? I can't, Eon Quirk. I could easily sit here and honey dick you and give you my opinion on the BKFC because I do watch it, but I didn't watch any of the fights last week, and it was a good card. And I didn't even look at the upcoming fights this weekend, which are happening now, because boxing is our bread and butter here. And we've been kind of slow on the boxing end, and there's a lot of good fights this weekend in boxing to make money on. So I focused all of my attention on boxing. So I can't give you an opinion on it. Boxing fan, never. Bilotti screwed my last parlay. He won't get a second chance. And guys, this is important to talk about. We have the longer we stay in the game, whether you're betting for entertainment, which a lot of us do, betting professionally, which gives me anxiety. The minute I found out we had a handful of guys in our Discord who are professional bettors, meaning that their livelihood is based on where their film study. And guys, these are students of the game. These are guys who they don't have, their career is watching film study, going to the fights, talking to the fighters, breaking the fights down in their own time. And then through all of that, finding the proper fights to put X amount of money on. And through that experience, we create lists in our head. No bet lists. I think a no bet list is important. You guys probably know my no bet list. I talk about my no bet list all the time. Boxing fan Bilotti is on Boxing Fans no bet list. So, I got a lot of French white fighters on my no bet list. I got a lot of former Olympians. I got the Figueroa brothers on my no bet list. So there we go. ESPN announced Fandora here to Sand fight public. Yep. And that's what we were talking about. Let's that sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? That sucks. It the idea that it just bums me out, man. I wanted to see that fight. It's so fun to break down. And we were getting 50-50. I was going to go on Gary's channel to debate him because Gary's going super heavy on Keith and I'm going super heavy on Seb. And we were going to do this whole big ass debate. And, and we keep it copacetic. We get along. He's my guy, but we don't have to agree. And to see that it was postponed, I was really looking forward to that fight. It would kind of be like if if Brian Norman Jr. and Dev got postponed. You know what I'm saying? So fingers crossed that that fight happens. Figueroa, favorite fight. Man, they used to be. That's my problem, DJ. And I don't even hold grudges. Omar Figueroa at one time was my guy. Brandon Figueroa at one time was my guy. What was since we got the screen pulled up, let's see if we could do something. What was that dude's name? I hate that I don't remember. It bothers me that I don't remember this dude's name. Because he's a solid, legit fighter. Oh, God. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm trying to pull something up for you guys. It's insane when you watch this fight. Is this it? Give me a second. Sorry for the delay. I'm trying to pull something up. No. Oh, no, that's Figueroa versus Ugas. You know what? Let's watch this real quick. Let's watch this real quick. So this isn't the fight, but this is Omar versus Ugas. all of a sudden, Omar Figueroa started fighting like he had never, played defense before. You know what I'm saying? He had never, all of a sudden, Omar Figueroa later in his career started fighting like this with no defense in the pocket. It's like, what are you doing? And this is bad, but this isn't even as bad when he fought Abel Ramos. When he fought Abel Ramos, he was coming in with he's here and he's doing this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Dude, you want to get frustrated? Imagine being an Omar Figueroa fan, then watching the Abel Ramos fight and then the Ugas fight. And then all of a sudden, Brandon Figueroa, I gave up on him. And then he had a good performance and he gets the Stephen Fulton fight. And then he starts fighting like his brother. And I'm like, oh, God. But yeah, that's some context. That's just some context to the Figueroa DJ. DJ's an OG. He knows we talk about it all the time. Oh, Rando in the house. Rando, you've been a member for a while. You got to, boys, you just got to, every time you guys resub, man, it means a lot. You guys are OGs helping the channel go prolong. Let's get to Giorgio by decision. I want to talk about this fight, guys. What do you guys think about? Is Giorgio on upset alert? Guys, what are we thinking about this? I'll pull up the odds. Everybody is high on Vasoli. Everybody. I'm not saying I'm not high on Vasoli. I'm not saying I'm a hater. It's just that I'm not sold on him. And I think these odds are super disrespectful. There are a few sketchy odds, man. By the way, before I get to Vasoli, these are the prospects. We did a prospect parlay. My first live stream yesterday, the one before TJ. I shared this in the Discord. Hayden, Howarth, Tudsbury. These are all feeder fights. Suleiman, Udin. Damn, the odds on Padley dropped significantly. Padley was at $1.35. He's at $1.26 now. A lot of money coming on Padley. But Justin Palmieri. All right, here we go. This fight. All right. So if you go to my second live stream yesterday, and it's about halfway through, it was me and TJ, and then Gary pops in. Gary started talking about James Wilkins. Now, I watched the weigh-ins. I'll bring the weigh-ins up. And he was saying that, like, Vasoli, he said, I'm not saying Vasoli's going to lose, but he says that these odds are crazy. Did anybody tape Vasoli versus Wilkins? What do you guys think of this? What happened to the chat? I got to figure out how to get that back. There we go. Did anybody tape Vasoli versus Wilkins? Giorgio had been on that trash can European journeyman joint. Julius, man, you need. Do you write? So this is a good little. What's the word in the English language? This is called, not a pun. It's like a small version of a poem. Giorgio been on that trash can European journeyman diet. So my man did a 3-adjective. My man used 3 adjectives. Giorgio been on that trash can European journeyman diet. American journeyman legit. Is anybody gonna take Wilkins here? Okay, Vis isn't losing. Giorgio by decision. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looked like. Giorgio by decision. What's up, Blue Collar? Appreciate you in the house. All right, mate. This is a great bet then. This is a great bet then. If we could, Haiku. Thank you. Finally made it. Thank you. Gotta love the chat. We're not just well versed and educated on boxing. I don't want to talk too much shit, but I am a 2-time published author out this motherfucker. Haiku. That's right. But this is a good bet. Vasoli, he's 8-0, 158. I mean, Blue Collar, are you going heavy? Are you doing that a parlay? Or are you doing standalone? Because 158 would juice up a parlay. What's your system on this then, mate? Blue Collar. Like, how are you going to go about this? Because it's interesting. I'm interested. I'm interested in this because 158 is intriguing to add on a parlay. I'm not a guy that's going to go heavy on a prospect sort of like up-and-comer fight like this. But I'm interested. I could be talked into adding $1.58 on a parlay, though. So I'm interested in how you're going to use it. I got Vasoli decision. Here we go. Let's add this together then, boys. All right, let's see what N's talking about. Let's see what N got cooking up in here. So I got Vasoli by decision. So we're gonna add that. And then he also has Barrera inside the distance 2.5. Hold on. Barrera inside the distance. So Barrera by stoppage. Because the betting app down here, a knockout TKO is all. I'm definitely disagreeing with you on this because I have Vasoli. But if you take Barrera by stoppage is $5.40. The fight inside the distance. Anyone can win. Now we're talking. That's a great option, guys. And that's a great option because, like I said, going into this, I'm not sitting here comfortable on the Dave Allen Arslanbek fight, even though I've gone heavy on Dave on the money line. And I'm not comfortable with Guido, even though I've gone heavy on the money line. But what I am comfortable, the fight inside the distance. So either guy to win by stoppage. And then I guarantee we take this, right? And then we're just sweating. We're watching a hug fest. It's the 5th round. Both guys are gassed. Jabs are missing. Head-butting. Clinching. Dudes are on the ropes. No one's punching no more. 9th round rolls around. Cats is sweating. You know how this goes. But will the fight go the distance? No. That is insane that the money is plus money for the fight to not go the distance. So the money is coming in on this to go the distance. Interesting. What do you guys make it? This is freaking intriguing to me that there's so much more money from Vegas coming in on Villanella versus Barrera to actually go the 10 rather than somebody get stopped. This is interesting, man. Even that's 235. Just praying for bloodshed. So this 2-legger 371. So if we were live on this, right, 100 on this on Villanella's fight, somebody to get stopped, and then Vasoli by decision, 100 gets you your money back plus $271. Not a bad shout. I like that, and it just is intriguing to me that I like going into this. I thought it was shocking Guido is the dog here. I'm actually equally as shocked that more money is on the decision. $1.56 for this to go the distance. Interesting. Boxing fan. Let me get to Julius real quick. My spicy pick this week is Boston by knockout. Fawaz way too confident for a 37-year-old going against a fresh team. Julius, we know the story though, man. You got to be confident if you're Bilal Fawaz. It's how he rolls. He's a recording artist. Don't make me pull up Bilal Fawaz's rap record, boy. His rap albums. He's like a full-on. Bilal Fawaz is like he's a full-on character. Bilal Fawaz is like a Timu version of Hector Macho Camacho. No offense to Bilal Fawaz, but that's who he reminds me of. When I'm watching Bilal Fawaz operate in life, when I'm following Bilal Fawaz's like Instagram, and like it all makes sense though. He had been living in the UK. He comes Lebanese and African descent. His parents come to the UK as I think immigrants. Lived there since 2002. Didn't get a visa, didn't get a residency, didn't get a passport. And since 2002, 2014, Frank Warren offers him a 200,000-pound contract. He can't take it because he doesn't have residency. And then in 2012 and 2016, he was going to fight. He was going to box in the Olympics, and he couldn't because he didn't have a passport. And so we know the story. So for all of that aside, that's why I like him. I like Bilal. You give me Bilal Fawaz at plus money, man. I'm taking it. This is what I'm talking about. Come on. Come on, baby. My man, Bilal Fawaz looks like who he look like. My man looks like damn, it's weird how the volume's not working here. It's weird how the volume won't work here. But
I'll make you reach. Wait. I will. Don't worry, I won't touch you. Not yet. My hands in mine and I'll make you reach. Wait. I will. Only when your mind is empty could you think clearly. So, my mind is empty. I know what has to be done. It's already done. Now I'm manifesting it. If you want to come and take.
anyway, that's enough.
Do I think it's taking this long? Did you watch the last fight? If anybody watched the last fight, you will understand why it took this long. He can't handle it. There is so much that he needs to.
Who does he look like? He looks like somebody from an 80s movie. He reminds me of a character. I don't know if it's an Eddie Murphy movie. You know who he reminds me of? Here's who he reminds me of. I'm going to get hate for this one. This is who he reminds me of. Did you guys ever see these movies? So Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds also was in The Karate Kid. This actor, he looks like this dude reminds me of Bilal Fawaz, dude. Damn, these websites are insane. Anyway, we digress. So yeah, we're moving on. We're gonna move on from the Bilal Fawaz. Where we at now? He got that haircut. Senior boxing fan Chris Eubank with the Jerry curl. Remember the build up to Cameron? Yes. All right, Julius. I got to give you some credit. Basically, what Julius is saying, I told you so. That's what Julius is saying here. Hey, Johnny, I told you so. You know what? You deserve it. I got that one wrong. So yeah, the build up to Cameron Whitaker too. Everybody hyping Cameron up just for him to stop early. Yeah, man. The thing about that too is, did you like the stoppage? I mean, were you comfortable with how that fight got stopped? And I'm not too salty about the Whitaker Cameron too. I know there was a lot. If anything, I owe Andy Lee an apology because I was the one. Andy Lee, man, the UK media prop. Look, great coach. It just seems like I'm always kind of hesitant when fighters early in their career have a loss and then they change camps. It had nothing to do with Andy Lee. We know about Joe Parker. We know about multiple fighters who go to Andy Lee and they kind of, see good results. But I was hesitant because you know, when a young fighter experiences their first loss and then they change everything, that's why I was hesitant. But it was a good move. It was a good move. Johnny, I did hit a touchdown prop. I didn't want to talk about it. I did hit the reason why I didn't share the touchdown prop, because I guarantee there's a couple of the boys in the Discord. If I would have shared it, how come you didn't post your touchdown props? I'm like, bitch, this is a boxing channel. So you want full autonomy of my betting app? You know what I'm saying? Like 2 weeks in our Discord, guys. We had, and the boys in the Discord knows, in our Discord, and you boys just made me start a NHL channel, by the way. So in our Discord, boys, if those of you aren't in there, so we have a MMA channel, a bet slip channel, so all the boys put their bet slips, my picks, so nobody has access except me, so you could go to my picks and see what I post, NFL and college football, a soccer channel, and an NHL channel as of yesterday, and I'm probably going to start an NBA channel because you boys asked for it. But the point is, 2 weeks ago, in the parlay section, I posted, because I do a lot of touchdown parlays, like 2-leg, will this guy score? And I've been hitting a lot. And so I posted one of them 2-3 weeks ago, and cats were hating on me. I didn't see these. Where was these at? I ain't see you post these. We all up in the Discord, and you out here, you ain't even. I'm like, bro. I'm like, so you're telling me you want full access to my betting app then? You want me, everything I bet you want to see. It's like, bitch, this is a boxing Discord. I'm not. Anyway, I hit a 2-leg touch. I always do 2-leg NFL touchdown props. So I hit Dallas Goedert and Cam Skatebo to score plus 850. Let's go. And it always looks good when they hit. You know what I mean? When we hit, when the boys score, it's like, I know everything about football. Shoot. You know, I'm a football expert out here. You know, I always pick winners. But when they don't hit, you're like, man, you start second guessing. You're like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. He don't even know football no more. Skeezy, my guy, NBA channel will be fire this season. Who do you guys cheer for? NBA, I'm a Cavs fan. You guys, dude, I'm a diehard Cleveland sports fan. I remember that day, DJ. Yeah, dude. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing? So I'm gonna start a Discord and become my hands are cuffed now. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? This is a boxing Discord, right? It is a boxing. The heart of our Discord is boxing. Our heartbeat. But you see the little legs. It's like you know, a big spider. The spider body is boxing, but then all the legs. I'm gonna give a shout out to. I've never watched. You know how many NHL games I've watched in my life? 0. I lived I went to college for a year and a half at the University of Pittsburgh, and I was playing baseball. And while I was living in Pittsburgh, this just happened to be the year the Steelers drafted Ben Roethlisberger. The Pittsburgh Penguins drafted Sidney Crosby. And Pittsburgh was popping, dude. And I lived right by where the Penguins would play. And I never went to a game. I heard. You know what? I went to a hockey game my last time in LA. I went to a hockey playoff game. I watched the Kings play. I was not sober. It would have been 2 years ago. I forgot I went to a hockey game. It was really fun. But I get a message from Gil. So shout out to Gil. Gil is the one who requested the NHL channel. He goes, Johnny, could you make an NHL channel? The season started today. Once I have free time, I'm going to start posting my picks. So I'm like, yep, send him a voice memo. This is how to interact with me. If you want something, then what's up, buddy? 100%. It's my Friday afternoon. So I'm about to call it a day and head out. But yeah, I'll do that this morning, and then I'll tag you in it. Shout out. Yeah, so if you're already in the Discord, I mean, we don't have much else to add. What else is there? You know, I'm going to do the NBA channel. I mean, my horse, so I got a horse racing, but I'm not telling you guys because the last time my horse raced, that fool almost got put down. So one of my clients owns horses, and one of my clients owns horses, so I went to the races last weekend. If you follow my Instagram, you would have seen pictures with my girlfriend and I all dressed up. Everybody dresses up to go to the horses, and they own like 4 of them. And so 3 weeks ago, I shared inside tip, and so I put it in the Discord, and our horse, you know, if a horse falls or gets hurt, they literally put it down. And I'm like, did our horse just get shot? I was like, I don't see it rounding the finish line. Did they have to shoot that joint? And I told everybody to bet on it. We not only lost our money, but our horse got shot. The fuck? It didn't get shot. That horse is racing again today. So if you want to I put a little action on it because, you know, I'm a loyalist, kind of like to my Cleveland sports teams. But if you do want action, the horse races at 3:30 today at Rose Hill. Freddie Bassett. That's all I'm going to say. 22-1. Let's go. Table tennis. Guys, I'm going to lock it up. I got to go live my life. It's 11 a.m. Saturday. You guys are beasts. We still got like 40 people in here. Tag a channel. Table tennis. You guys are beasts. Let's get this money. We still got 24 hours for the fights too. So I just go to my fight prediction playlist. If you guys want more in-depth, I'm sure some of you guys have already watched the breakdowns, the Stats Don't Lie videos. If you haven't, they're up. Subscribe, like it, come to the Discord. Go. I'm going to post the Discord link now after I get off in the membership section on YouTube, and then you'll have access. I'm going to be going live